Good morning. Hello everybody. Today I am going to teach you Standard 10th Economics Chapter 1 Development. In my previous part I have explained you what is the meaning of development. Development means progress, growth, or to achieve something more than the existing one. Or you can say to fulfill some aspirations. So today we are going to know about the different countries' development and how can we compare different countries or states. As you know, no two countries are same in their area or population. So how we are comparing the countries and how we are saying some countries are developed and some countries are underdeveloped and some are developing. So before going to explain this one, let me give you another example. Like one classroom, and suppose in my classroom I want to find out the best student of the class. And one student is there who is securing highest marks always in every subject. But in other respects, if you will see, that student is not so good. That means showing respect towards the teachers, obeying whatever teachers are saying, or making friendship with the peer group. So in all these respects, if you will see, that student is not so good. And you know, all the students are different in their talents, in their interests, and in their hobbies. So in that same class, another student is there who is not so good in studies, but is very well behaved and very good in other attitudes and behavior, very respectful towards the teachers, very much obedient, and very much friendly towards the peer groups. So in this case, which student I should take as the best student? So for taking as the best student, I cannot take one criteria only. I have to look at many criteria or more than one criteria to compare. So in this case, I should have to take that second student who is not so studious but is good in other aspects. I can take that student as the best student of the class. Okay? So, this is also true in the case of development. For comparing countries, their income should be taken as the best or first criteria or most important attribute. So, while we are comparing the countries, we should have to look at their income. If any country is having more income, that country is that much developed, because we know that more income means more of all things are available to all the people living there, and their standard of living surely would be very good, and that country can be called as developed. So one of the most important criteria is greater income, and we have to take it as important goal for comparing countries. But what is the income of the country? We are saying we have to take income of the country or better income as the better criteria or important criteria for comparing the countries. But what is the income of the country? What is called the income of the country? Now you can look at this world. Many continents, many countries, many states are present here. But can you tell me any two continents or countries are same in their size or population? No. You take into comparison of India, one country, and Bhutan, which is the neighboring country of ours. It is very smaller in comparison to our country. In population also, surely in Bhutan less number of people will live. So if you will take the total income if we take the total income of this India and Bhutan, how much it will be equal? Because you know, what is the income of the country? Income of the country is the income of all the people living there. Income of all the residents of the country. This gives the total income of the country. So, can you tell me that India and Bhutan's total income can be same? No, because in India more people are living than in Bhutan. So, when we are making the total income of all the residents, surely India's income will be more than Bhutan. So, we cannot compare the countries on the basis of total income, as no two countries are same in their size and population. So, how to compare the different countries' development? For this, we have to take out the average income, or which is called the per capita income. So, average income or per capita income, when we will calculate, then it is becoming easier. It will becoming easier for us to compare the countries, because there we don't have to bother what is the area of the country or how many people are living there. Average income is also called as per head income. How it is calculated? It is calculated in this process: total income of the country divided by total population of the country. So in this process, while we are taking out the result, that is coming the average income or per capita income, or it is called per head income, then we can compare the country's development, and it is becoming easier for us to compare. Now next we have to see that while we are comparing the countries on the basis of their per capita income, is it proper criteria to take, or some other criteria we should have to take with it? So to know this, I have given you one example. I am giving you. I have taken, for comparison countries, I have taken two countries, country A and country B. And for your calculation, how it will be easier, I have taken 5 persons living in country A, 5 persons living in country B. But you know, no two countries the population is same. But I have taken here for calculation, just it will become easier for you. So 5 persons are living in country A and also in country B. Their income, monthly incomes are given here. One is earning 9,500, one is earning 10,500, one is earning 9,800, then 10,000 and 10,200. But in country B, you look at, most of the people are earning 500, means very less income, and very few people are earning, or one person is earning 48,000, which is very greater amount. But while I have calculated the average by taking the total income of the country and dividing by the number of persons, 5, it is coming out 10,000 for country, and also it is coming out 10,000 for country B. That means both the countries' per capita income is same, 10,000 and 10,000. This is called average income. So if both the countries' per capita income is same, we have to take into account that both the countries' development status is same. But if I will ask you, in which country do you want to live? If I will give you the option, where do you want to live, in country A or country B? Your answer will be country A, not in country B. Why? Because you have seen here that their income distribution is very much equal, very less difference is there in the income. But here in country B, most of the people are earning very smaller amount of money, and very few people are earning very high amount. That means the gap between the rich and poor are much. It indicates that there is no equal distribution of income, means equality is not existing in case of country B. If equality in distribution of income will not exist, in other aspects also automatically inequality will exist. So you will prefer to live in country A. That means here, though the average income is coming out same, the per capita income is coming out same, but it is hiding one factor, that how the income is distributed. Here I have given you the income, that's why you can see, but if I will give you only these two, you will think that country A is equal to country B in status or developmental status. So average income is hiding how the income is distributed, whether equally or unequally. So you may not like to live in country B, because with income, we know that per capita income or income is one most important criteria to compare the development of the country. But with income, we also need some other public facilities, some other immaterial things, like we want equality wherever we live, we want peace, we want respect, we want freedom, we also want security. So these factors are also required with per capita income. So we have taken the average income or per capita income as one factor to compare the countries, but this should not be the only factor to compare the countries. With per capita income, we have to take many other criteria to compare the countries, and on the basis of that all criteria, the country's developmental status are measured, and accordingly some countries are developed, some are underdeveloped, and some are developing countries. So that all other criteria I will teach you in next part of this chapter. So for today, try to understand this much. So thank you all of you.